In this video, I'm going to cover some of the best credit cards that you can apply for right now that will give you high rewards on dining purchases. We are talking about 5% cashback, 3 or 4 transferable rewards points per dollar that you can use for free travel, so you can feel like you're making money at whatever restaurant you choose to dine at. Hey credit warriors, my name is Ben Hedges, aka the Credit Shifu, and on this channel I cover US credit cards and personal finance topics. If you're into that, do subscribe, but let's get into it. And this video is brought to you by Max Rewards, but more on that later. So number 1 on our list, and this is very predictable, so I'll talk about this one first. It is the American Express Gold Card. Let's have a look at the rewards on the card that have something to do with dining. And this is going to be the same for all the cards we mention. I won't bother talking about the rewards that have nothing to do with dining. So on the Amex Gold Card, we have 4x membership rewards points per dollar on dining at restaurants worldwide, including takeout and delivery in the US, up to $50,000 per calendar year in spend, and then it goes down to 1x. Most people will not have a problem with that limit, okay? I spend about $6,000 to $8,000 a year on dining. I'm trying to get that down, actually, but that's just what I've done in previous years. And I'd say I'm pretty average, so I think most people are going to be way within that limit of $50,000 a year. We have some additional perks, though, on the card to do with dining. Up to $120 annual dining credit, $10 monthly at select partners like Grubhub, the Cheesecake Factory, and a few others. Obviously, the Cheesecake Factory is a restaurant, but having Grubhub on there basically opens that dining credit up to any restaurant, okay? Because pretty much every restaurant that does, takeout or pickup is on Grubhub, all right? Because that's what it is. It's a takeout service that restaurants can sign up for. Then you also have up to $120 annually in Uber Cash, $10 monthly, and you can use that for Uber Eats, okay? So that's a dining benefit too. I normally use it once a month for Uber Eats. There's a $100 per year Resi credit, $50 every 6 months for restaurants on Amex's Resi platform. These are curated restaurants. They all have something a bit special about them, so it's great for impressing people or going on a date. And then there's a $7 per month, $84 per year Dunkin' credit, okay? If you can call buying donuts from Dunkin' dining, I usually use it for coffee at the beginning of the month. There's a few Dunkin' drive-thrus on streets that I normally drive down, and so whenever the beginning of the month rolls around, I'll go get a cappuccino a couple of times in the first week of the month. Then you may also wonder, with all these credits, there's got to be an annual fee, right? Yes, the annual fee on this card is $325. That's definitely going to be on the high side for a card that doesn't give you things like airport lounge access, hotel status, or some other high-level benefit. But if you utilize all the credits we just talked about, you'll make back $424. So that's going to be $99 more than the annual fee. So I'd recommend this card to people who dine out and order takeout a lot and who are really into dining, okay? The type of people who research restaurants to go to, since those restaurants that are a little bit special are going to be the ones that are often on Amex's Resi platform, so you can get that Resi credit back. There are so many benefits on this card that revolve around dining that you really can get a lot of value back. All right, moving on. The Chase Ultimate Rewards cards. Now in the past, I would just be recommending the Chase Sapphire Reserve for its 3x on dining. But guess what? Now pretty much all of the Chase Ultimate Rewards earning cards, the personal ones, have 3 points per dollar on dining. The Sapphire Preferred increased from 2 points to 3 points, and even the no annual fee cards like the Freedom Flex also give you 3 points per dollar on dining. The advantage with the Sapphire Preferred and Reserve is that the points are worth 25% more on the Preferred and 50% more on the Reserve when redeemed for travel through Chase's travel portal. So 3 points per dollar on dining becomes a 3.75% return on the Preferred and a 4.5% return on the Reserve. Of course, you can opt to use those points by transferring out to airline and hotel partners instead, which may give you even higher value. Both cards give you complimentary Dash Pass membership for at least 1 year too, which is a dining related benefit. And the Sapphire Preferred currently has a 100,000 point welcome bonus, so it's a great time to get that card, and you can upgrade it to the Sapphire Reserve later if you want. The annual fee on the Preferred is $95, and on the Reserve it's $550. Like we said, the Freedom Flex, which has no annual fee, also earns 3 points per dollar on dining, which to me is really weird. Why have different cards earn the same multiplier? But the Freedom Flex has no transfer partners and no bonus when you redeem on the travel portal. It's just 1 cent per point, so it's not as good. Good thing is though, if you get either of the Sapphire cards later, you can then transfer those points over. So you could be earning 3 points per dollar on the Freedom Flex on dining and then open a Sapphire Reserve when you want to redeem them, and you get 1.5 cents per point in value if you use them through the travel portal, all right? So that's boosting your return on dining from your Freedom card to 4.5%. The Freedom also has rotating categories that you can earn 5% on up to $1,500 in spend per quarter. So you will probably get at least one category per year when dining is a 5x category. And you'll often earn 7 points per dollar actually, because it's 1 point per dollar on base spend, then an extra 2 to make it to 3 points per dollar. That's the dining category. And then they add an extra 4 points per dollar for the 5x category, okay? Because when it's added to 1x base spend, you add 4 to make 5, right? You understand, right? So it ends up being 7 points per dollar. All right, let's move on. But first, if you're into credit cards, you really need to keep track of the benefits in order to get the maximum value out of your cards. And that's why I have partnered with Max Rewards. It's the ultimate credit card management app that I personally use, and it links to all your cards even if they're from different banks, and it shows you your balances, your points and rewards balances, and even things like credit utilization all in one place. I can browse by category, so if I want to know which card in my wallet gives me the best rewards on dining, well, I can see that right in the app. It's especially useful for cards with high annual fees, since you have this card value chart where you can see how much value you have got from using the credits and earning points. Look, my use of benefits alone has amounted to over $800 on this card, completely offsetting the annual fee. You can also click in for a more detailed view to see what benefits you've maximized and which you haven't. Great for keeping track of all the dining credits on the Amex Gold. And speaking of Amex cards, for American Express, Max Rewards is especially useful since you can search your Amex offers across all of your Amex cards, something you can't do on American Express's own website. You have to search card by card. Also, the Pro version, Max Rewards Gold, activates all your Amex offers for you so that you never miss a deal. And when all your offers are activated, new offers that you never knew existed appear in your account, saving you even more money. You can get a 7-day free trial of Max Rewards Gold with my link down below, and use the code HEDGES25 to get a 3-month discount on the annual plan if you choose to continue after the free trial ends. There are also a load of free features that you can check out too. All right, let's move on to our next dining card, the Capital One Savor Cash Rewards Credit Card. The Savor card is a no annual fee card for foodies from Capital One. It earns 3 points per dollar on dining. There used to be a version that earned 4 points per dollar, but that had an annual fee and it's no longer available to new card members, okay? They did that just to compete with the old Uber credit card, but then that one was discontinued and Capital One was left with this credit card that was probably unprofitable for them, so they discontinued it in the end too. Now, a lot of people really like to get the Savor, the current one that earns 3x, as part of what they call the Capital One Duo, where you have a Savor and a Venture or a Venture X. The Savor gives you 3x on dining and a few other popular categories, and the Venture or Venture X gives you 2 points per dollar on everything else, okay? That gives you non-category spend. The cashback from the Savor can also be transferred to the Venture, where it becomes points and it takes on more value, since the Venture and Venture X both have transfer partners, okay, airlines and hotels. All right, what's our next card? The US Bank Altitude Go Visa Signature Card. Now, this is a lesser known card that sometimes gets overlooked, but it does give you 4 points per dollar on dining and takeout on $2,000 in spending each quarter. So that is $8,000 per year, which is about the maximum I have ever spent on dining in a year. Most years I spend less. Now, the points are worth 1 cent per point. Some other cards from US Bank have higher values for the points, like the Altitude Reserve lets you redeem points for travel at 1.5 cents per point. But sadly, with US Bank, you cannot combine points like you can with Chase. So you can only redeem Altitude Go points through the Altitude Go card, okay? And the value will be 1 cent per point. So 4x is equivalent to 4% cashback. But the Altitude Go has no annual fee, which is something positive going for it, and I don't currently know of any other card that gives you 4% on dining as a permanent category with no annual fee. All right, moving on to our next card, which is the Citi Strata Premier Card. Now, this is a very versatile card, and it earns 3 points per dollar on a load of common spend categories, including dining. Now, I know 3% isn't the highest amount of points, but these are Citi points, okay? You can transfer them to airlines and redeem them for potentially a lot more than 1 cent per point. In fact, most people value Citi points at around 2 cents per point, so that would be a 6% return on dining spend. The card does have a $95 annual fee, but it does offer a lot of value. So I'd recommend this for someone who wants a good rewards rate on dining, but also wants to cover a load of other categories as well. You could easily use this as a one card setup since it offers 3x on many of the most common spend categories. Next is a great card to combine with the Citi Strata Premier, and that is the Citi Custom Cash. And this one I forgot about, and I had to add it in after filming the initial video, in case you're wondering why I'm wearing a different shirt. So the Citi Custom Cash gives you 5% back on $500 in spending each month on your biggest spending category for that month from a list that includes dining. So as long as you make sure that you spend more on dining on the card than in any other category on that list, you will earn 5% cash back, which is also transferable to 5x Citi points per dollar on dining constantly every month, as long as you don't spend more than $500 on dining, in which case it goes down to 1 point per dollar, and then you'd probably be better off using a different card. And if you have the Citi Premier, like we just talked about, you can then transfer those points over, and then you can transfer them on to airline transfer partners and get even more value. Okay, on to our next card. The Bank of America Customized Cash. So this is one I threw in here for the rich people in the audience.
That makes us considerably richer than you. Get out of my house, you baby!
Now this card offers 3 points per dollar on a category of your choice from a list. And one of the categories that you can choose is dining. But there is more. This card is eligible to increase rewards rates with the Preferred Rewards program. And in that program, if you have over $100,000 invested or in a savings account with Bank of America, then you are Platinum Honors tier and you get a 75% bonus on your credit card rewards, taking you to 5.25% back, and that is a really great cashback rate. All right, not everyone has $100,000 to deposit in an account, so here is something for the peasants.
Help! Help! I'm being repressed, bloody peasant!
Just kidding. Here's our final card. The Built Mastercard. Now, the Built Mastercard is known more for being a card that you can use to pay rent with no transaction fee and earn points on that payment, rather than a dining card. But the card does earn 3 points per dollar on dining, and there are a few other bonus categories as well. On what they call rent day, which is the first day of every month, the point earning is doubled. So 3 points per dollar on dining becomes 6 points per dollar. And these are built points that you can transfer to a load of airline and hotel partners. They're really valuable points. Most people, again, say 2 cents per point. But then, in addition to the 3x on dining and the 6x on the first of every month, you also have the Built Dining program where you can link a card. In fact, any card. It doesn't have to be the Built card, actually. And you get 3 extra Built points whenever you use that card at any of the restaurants in the program. So if you link to Chase Freedom, you'd get 3 Chase points from that card, and then 3 extra Built points. If you link to an Amex Gold, you get 4 Amex points per dollar from the Amex Gold, and then 3 Built points per dollar as well. And if you have the Built card itself and it's rent day, you get 6 Built points for dining, okay, because it's doubled on rent day. 3x is doubled to 6. And then you'll get an additional 3 Built points for spending at a restaurant that is in their dining program. I'll put a link to Built down below where you can sign up for Built, the program itself, not the Built credit card, and you can link any card and then you can earn points from their dining program. Or you can also pay rent through their system, although if you want to pay rent with no fee, you will need the Built card as well. All right, guys, that is my rundown of some of the best dining credit cards in 2025. I wouldn't say it's an exhaustive list because I'm sure there's a few, maybe 1 or 2 that I've missed. You can leave those down in the comments below, let me know. Personally, I like the Amex Gold the best, okay? I like getting 4 points per dollar on dining, and it also gives me 4 points per dollar on grocery, so I cover 2 categories in one. But maybe some people prefer something with no annual fee and good point earning on dining, okay? I would suggest the Built card in that case. Or if you like a card that could just be a one card setup and cover dining and a load of other categories, then the Citi Strata Premier I think would be good. Or if you have $100,000 in the bank and you're willing to put that into Bank of America, whether that's in a savings account or invested in a brokerage account with them, the customized cash rewards card could be for you. Let me know which one you choose in the comments down below, and don't forget to check out Max Rewards and get a 7-day free trial and then a 3-month discount if you choose to continue after that with my code HEDGES25 in the links below. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.